This morning my radio said, turn around, don't drown. And so some people may be taking some of that advice about low water crossings. I am the president-elect of the State Bar of Texas. I got here as fast as I could to this state as a result of my parents' military orders. And San Antonio was the city where my dad got stationed as a military police officer. I went to high school and then UT and UT Law. Since that time, my experience with criminal law was early. As a result of a really great seminar that I had at law school, which was by Frank Maloney, who went on to the Court of Criminal Appeals and a practicing criminal attorney, I had an opportunity to develop a case and have a taste for criminal law. I participated in moot court at the level of the Order of the Barristers, and I was given an opportunity to divert my orders to Washington, D.C. and become a commissioner, which is a briefing attorney, to the Army Court of Review, and then a Defense Appellate Division counsel, and then branch chief for court-martial appeals from around the world. And I wanted to try cases, and so after 4 years of duty, I came back, and I've been a civil trial lawyer and mediator. But I've always maintained a fondness for people who donate all of this time, all of the effort to ensure the Constitution, to take care of the poorest and those who are less likely to be entitled to legal representation, way beyond Gideon. And I was schooled in my first job a little bit by a Jerry Goldstein lawyer who was from San Antonio, who sent a case up there, and he was the civilian defense counsel. And they couldn't, he wanted to know who the appellate lawyer was. He wanted to know who this young captain was, and he wanted to know what about I was going to do with the case. I had never seen a case so well briefed. I had never seen a case, of course I wasn't very experienced either, but that where the record was so well preserved. And certainly there was no need to raise inadequacy of counsel, which young people tend to do who weren't seasoned in the field and in trial work. And armed with his briefs, the objections that were made, it was a fine and wonderful opportunity to see a case well developed and a person well represented at the age of 28 years of age. And when I got back to San Antonio, I had the opportunity to meet him and visit with him in person. My mentor, Beb Layden, was a good friend of his dad and the communist Maury Maverick Jr., and so I would always not go and visit with him when I was in uniform stationed here in my summers. It's been a true opportunity to come and speak to you. I think a pro bono component of the State Bar is very important for us. Criminal lawyers helped me 25 years ago when I had some trouble with the DWI and I needed to go and get treatment. And some of my closest friends are criminal defense lawyers. I left the Pachanga last night in order to go to my Thursday night group. There are 5 or 6 of us who are out of about 20 lawyers who meet in the Lawyers Concerned for Lawyers, the support group of the State Bar of the Lawyers Assistance Program. And they are a wonderful resource, and they are a wonderful, not only did one help me in my time of need, but they continue to help their clients. So whatever you want to do and want to accomplish, I was at the Pachanga, as I said, until I went to my Thursday night group. But when I was there, I listened to a clemency program that's being developed, I believe, by Professor Saltzman and the ABA. And it provides, it seems to me, an opportunity for pro bono help from lawyers who don't always practice criminal law, but might be able to read and write and be mentored by someone who does, to help those who have been sentenced and meet the criteria of the amount of confinement, the criteria of what type of crimes they had, mostly drug-related, and potentially get them out of prison earlier. And if you come to me with that type of program, I will be happy to welcome it, and we'll look for not just you, but other lawyers who may be able to read and write and help on some of those and make a difference. So I wanted to say that because I saw John Comrie walk in, and John always reminds me that we give out a lot of awards at the State Bar for a lot of stuff, and we pat each other on the backs for all of our civil stuff and for what you all do every day, and that is take cases on reduced fees or for nothing. help people to make Gideon a reality. I'm very proud to be the president of a state which, through your efforts, your strong efforts, is now making progress in connection with what is disclosed by prosecutors, progress in what the Innocence Program and Cynthia and all the hard work of all these other lawyers are doing. Even in the legislature, they're entertaining and seriously considering bills to help the criminal justice system be more fair to both those who practice in it and certainly to those who benefit from it or are subjected to it. So welcome to San Antonio. I'll leave with this. If you're not too far, if you have some time from the Alamo, and if you want to walk over there, I have a quote from Davy Crockett. Those of you who grew up in my era may know that he had a wonderful Disney feature for years. And Davy said this: "I must say, as to what I've seen of Texas, it is the garden spot of the world, the best land and the best prospects for health I ever saw. And I do believe that it is a fortune to any man to come here." So welcome to Texas.